Hello fellow guitar geeks, as promised in this video you're going to see and hear the highest output P-90 in the world. Here it is, and I'm about to install it in this Harley Benton. So this one is currently not working and I wanted to fix it, upgrade it, and then I spoke to Chris Ruebezahl from Ruebezahl Pickups, and there he is, this is his business card. And he said, why don't we make an insanely high output P-90 pickup? So we're going to do that. But before we do that, let's talk other pickups. The average single coil pickup is around 7 to 8 kilo ohms output. You've got other P-90s, so the traditional ones are around 7 to 8 kilo ohms also. The Seymour Duncan Antiquity pickup, beautiful P-90, that's 8.6 kilo ohms. The Seymour Duncan Hot P-90 is 15 kilo ohms. The Warpig 90 from Bare Knuckle Pickups is a whopping 21.5 kilo ohms, but even the Warpig 90 is nowhere near what I have for you today. This pickup, this P-90 bridge pickup, is a 60 kilo ohm pickup. 60 kilo ohms, that's almost 3 times the power of the Warpig 90. So without further ado, let's unpack this and take a look at what it looks like. So, it's like being back in the olden times, being wrapped in paper. I'm so excited. I was expecting chips. I hope it's a pickup. Alrighty. There it is. It's heavy, just so you know. It is super heavy. Let's take the cover off to have a look. There it is. I don't even know if it has a name. Whopping, it says on there. And I've got to show you the box, actually. And that's what that means. Whopping, and then we've got some sort of writing here, and it's kind of like a radioactive kind of pickup is what he was going for. So it's heavy, it looks insane, it's really, really thick. He wanted to make sure that that I had enough space in the guitar, and luckily I do, because in the Harley Benton, this is a stacked pickup, so it's a stacked P-90, P-100 kind of thing, so there is enough space in the guitar body. Almost too much space, in fact. That's P-90 sunken down too much. So I'm going to take the Harley Benton over to the bench, install the new Ruebezahl pickup, and then I'm going to show you through several of my amps. So these are the amps. I also have the orange there, sorry orange. I also have another Harley Benton DC, the Ferris Blue, my non-signature signature, which has the original pickup. So we can kind of compare the original output to this one. I can't do it on this one because this pickup's broken. So let's take this to the bench and not only repair it, but improve it. So naturally the first job is to take off all the stuff that's currently on the guitar. Everything comes off really simply because there's nothing much to it. It's just a one pickup guitar with a one single port on the back. Soldering it all out, and that's about it really. There's not really anything difficult about taking stuff apart on this guitar. This is the old pickup. It says Smapple, which I'm sure should be sample, because this was the prototype of the Harley Benton. There's the new one, and it's about the same size. So it's quite, even though it's a single P-90, it's about the same size as the stacked P-90. Look. So yeah, there's not much space left after that goes in. Also, these are the foam bits that go on the pickup to stop the pickup wobbling around and to get it nice and spaced out. Here it goes in, cable feeding through. The access port on this style of guitar is quite small, and I've got big sausage fingers, so there's no way that I can solder inside there. So I'm making a little template so that I can solder the parts on this template and then just simply remove it and put it in the cavity. There it goes, fits nicely. Pushing it through and then poking some holes to mark where the pot should be. Widening the pots with a screwdriver, and then the pot should just drop straight in and be the right dimensions. There's my template. Here's what I used. I've got two 500K audio taper pots and a capacitor at 22 nanofarads. Then I've got an output jack. It's not Switchcraft, it's not the best quality, but it'll do for this job. I'll upgrade that at some point. There's my template. Time to put it all together. The speed at which I solder is unfathomable. Here are the pots, and I'm going to be soldering on with some of the vintage wire, so you can just push it back. There's no cutting necessary, and because I'm using the template, the length is as long as it needs to be and no more. Time for the capacitor, and I had a bit of trouble holding this, so I decided to put it on my guitar rest. That helped a lot. In it goes, coming together, and now we've got the ground wires. Not the tidiest soldering job in the world, but it's rock and roll. Now, I don't have this wiring diagram memorized. You could just search them on the internet, search for single pickup, P-90, master volume, master tone, and there will be loads that come up. Here it is, finishing touches, and time to put it in the guitar. Putting the pickup on first, soldering that in first. Template comes off, and it should just drop in if I remove the nuts and the washers. Sadly, the new pots didn't fit in exactly, so I had to enlarge the holes. There we go, make them a little bit bigger, and then drop them in, I hope, blow the dust out. Yay! We have a wiring assembly in the guitar. So, final touches to the ground wire, and then output jack goes in. Should have tested it before putting it back in the guitar, but oh well. And then I had to enlarge in the dog ear pickup holes, because they just wasn't big enough for the new pickup. Then I got a bit crazy with how big I made them. You can see how big they are exactly. I had to put a little spacer of cardboard in there to make sure that the pickup wouldn't float around too much. Then it's on with the back cavity, and time to string it up, I guess. The Dario XT 10-46, by the way, in case you're wondering. And Bob's your mother's brother. Well, not quite, because the original dog ear pickup cover put the pickup too far away from the strings, which was a problem with this guitar as stock. So I made this little shim, and I've used the soap bar pickup cover that Chris supplied. So it looks a little different now. Alrighty then, here it is. It's got the new stock Ruebezahl hottest P-90 in the world. And by the way, I'm calling it that. Chris isn't calling it that. In fact, he said maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'm saying it. And here's the stock Harley Benton with the Ruebezahl pickup. Important to note that the P-90s, the pickups, are the same distance from the strings on both guitars. So that's not closer, that's not further away or anything. I really want to hear it, but before I do, I'm going to get a stock tone from this one so we can compare the original pickup and the original sound of this guitar to the new sound. The new sound. Here is the original pickup. All right, moment of truth. What does adding the hottest P-90 in the world to a guitar actually achieve? It's thicker, it's louder, it's more gain. Hopefully you can hear that. So what I'll do now is I'll do two short clips of the differences. Okay, so I won't talk in between them. Here they are again. First of all, I want to know what you think. What are the differences you hear? Let me know down in the comments section, because I hear the sound is more compressed. There's more, of course, more gain. It is louder, but it's like more frequencies are loud, not the actual sound is louder. The original still sounds good. It sounds like it sounds like a better tone at the moment. Like this is too much. On that Marshall, that's the SV20 by the way, and SV20H. It sounds too much because I set the tone kind of for this. So I would need to alter that amp to get a desirable tone. So I'll do that, and then we'll try it through the other amps to see how that sounds. Actually, I did nothing. I just played around a little bit more, and I really enjoyed it. So I actually enjoy that tone. But down in the rhythm section, it's a bit too full, and it's out of tune. You could get that fatter tone, that really high output P-90 tone, by putting like a tube screamer in between the stock Harley Benton and the amp, which of course is what many people do with their guitars. That's why they're adding a tube screamer with no gain to boost that front end. And I remember talking to John Brown of Monuments, and that's exactly how we got a great metal tone out of this Engel Fireball. And that's exactly what we're going to do now, or once the amp's warmed up. I'll be back in a second. That is some kind of high gain. It's very, very, very bassy, mushy. Let's try it against the original HB. All right, here we go. Stock Harley Benton. That actually sounds really good. Hang on. I like that more. That shouldn't be the case. Or it should be the case. I mean, it's just an experiment. Okay, maybe it's not meant for metal, so that's not surprising because there's a lot of woofiness coming from this. So there's a lot of low end, and it's lacking that finesse that you kind of need, that high frequencies that are coming through for the clarity of the kind of metal that I'm attempting. I think this might be the perfect Doom guitar. That can mean only one thing. It's time to get orange. That's fun. That is a riff that I could get into. I've just come up with that, so I'm not exactly sure where that riff's going, and I'm not sure if I can recreate that on the other Harley Benton. But let's have a go. Let's see what happens. There is a very noticeable difference. Not that that's not good, but that's a more rock tone. Compare that quickly to the other one. Don't forget the riff when you diddle 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 diddle. Firstly, I like that riff. Secondly, that sounds flipping brilliant. That is the point where I love this pickup. Okay, now we're cooking. Can you hear those mids? It's like nasally, and it didn't sound so good on the Marshall when I was trying to do some rocky. But then imagine that down tuned. Don't imagine that down tuned. Let's down tune it. So the EQ needs to be a little bit different, but generally speaking, that's a thick old tone. I would need new strings, of course, to this guitar. If you were going to, that's in B and F sharp. I just tuned those two. That sounds superb. I'm really, really enjoying that. It's like a built-in fuzz pedal, which everybody should have. Some facts on the pickup is that it took 45 minutes to wind. Now, I am not a pickup winder. I do not wind pickups, but Chris made it very clear that that's a very long time to wind one pickup and to focus for that long. So I guess if you're winding those winds and you have to focus, it gave him backache and probably headache as well. So Chris Ruebezahl, thank you for dedicating yourself for the cause of finding one of the best tones I've ever heard through that orange amp. And one of the best tones I've ever heard on a Harley Benton guitar as well. I think the proof of the benefits of having a 60 kilo ohm P-90 pickup are right there. Not to say that there's anything wrong with the original pickup, the original Roswell. That's a good rock pickup, and especially for the price of the Harley Benton guitars, I think it's one of my favorite things in the world. In fact, that's why I put my name on it. But sticking that Ruebezahl pickup in here has turned this one into, from a non-working guitar into something that has offered me a tone that I didn't have. That's always good. And normally you have to do that with a pedal. So, now you can change pickups that are insane. And so far, the guitar has not caught on fire, which sadly, as a YouTuber, makes me disappointed. But as a guitar player, happier. So, yeah, I'm going to be using that a lot, I think. That's going to happen in the future for me and you and this channel. You know what time it is? It's end of the video time, which means you've made it all the way to the end of the video, which means you are in the end of the video club, and to prove that you are a member of this prestigious elite, when you leave your comment down below under the video, I had to slow down there, please also include the phrase Ruebezahl. I want to say thank you to Chris for sending out the pickup. If you want more information from Chris and his pickups, there's links in the video description down below. Also, thanks for stopping by. I hope you had some fun and enjoyed the video, the experiment, the pseudoscience. So, I'll see you in one of these videos. Go on, off you pop. Tatty bye.